Okay, what's good YouTube? Welcome back for another video. So in today's video I'm going to be talking to you about the difference and how my tattoo has changed in 2 years since I got it. So I got my tattoo, I started my sleeve about 2 years and 3 months ago, something like that, and now obviously it took about 3 months for the whole thing to be done, and now obviously 2 years on, does it still look good? I've also got some questions at the end of the video I'm going to be asking, which I'll put on my Instagram. I'll put my Instagram below here somewhere, or this side, or whatever. You'll see anyway after I edit the video. So let's get into it. First of all, I'm going to quickly show you a video of a little 20-second recap of what it looked like on the first video I did, literally as soon as I got it done. So enjoy. So this is my sleeve when I first had it done. It's quite weird me looking back now, seeing what it looked like when it was first done, just because it does look quite a bit different, and when you see how fresh they used to look, it kind of like motivates you to get some more, and you do feel a bit gutted that it doesn't like that anymore, but it's just one of them things. Anyway, enjoy the rest of the video. So differences. So I think I started off with this one. I say I've got my light here, but without the light it would be quite dark, so okay, so overall, even myself, I've been to watch some clips back of when I first had it done. I think it looks quite a bit different. It definitely, obviously because it was recently done in that video, I think I filmed the video about 2 or 3 days after I'd finished my last one. So all of them were less than 3 months old. They're definitely a lot more darker in them ones, because obviously as soon as you get a tattoo done, they're really dark, and over the first like 3 to 6 months they start to fade a bit, and then it kind of sticks at that colour like forever. Myself, I do wish it was as dark as it used to be, but it's just the way tattoos done. You can get them darker, but they don't always look that great when you have them when they go over them again. But that's just, the way that you have got to expect this when you get a tattoo. The way it looks on day one, it won't look like that in a year, that sort of thing. So with the questions, I'm going to quickly get into them. Like I said, I put it on my Instagram. Let's quickly find them. So, do you still like it? Yeah, I still love my tattoo. It's like this. I think this one here is my favourite. Just because it's my original one, and also the eye. It looks pretty sick. I still love it. I'm definitely glad I got it done. Question 2: would you change anything? So I think if I would change something, I may have on my inside bit here, I've got like the diamond with the crown, but then there's like these shine lines off it, and I do kind of wish I was filled in a bit, just because at a distance it just looks like I've got a bit of a gap. And when you have gaps in tattoos, like over time they really start to bug you, especially when I first got my tattoo done, and I was only obviously having little bits. Every week I was literally having one sitting and getting a decent bit done. So over like the 3 months, like my tattoos was away one of the weeks, so I didn't have one there. Another week he was booked, so I didn't have one there, and it does really bug you. I went to Body Power and had a photo, and I'd only had up to here on my arm, and I was wearing a t-shirt about like that, so you could just see this gap, and that irritated me a lot on my Body Power photos, not gonna lie. Next question: have you added to it? Yeah, I have added to it. About a year ago I had this one done, which is the anchor at the bottom. Just kind of extend it. It does go slightly onto my hand now, compared to before it kind of cut off there, but I think the anchor's pretty sick. I think it looks quite cool. Don't know if I can get the angles here, but you get the idea. Have I had any bits touching up? When I did have that one done, I did have a little bit touched up. I'd like, you'll be able to see, but on the wing, and there's a very small bit where the ink had came out, because I was so unlucky. I had that tattoo done, about 2 or 3 days later a spot came up, and obviously as soon as I popped the spot, there's always this little white circle in it, so the tattoo artist filled that up when I had that done. And also some of the lighter numbers, which I don't know if you can see, but these ones here, some of them did fade just because they're so tiny. And also, like, when you tattoo scabbing, like especially the sleeve, you're bound to have a couple of bits which kind of the ink falls out, or a scab will happen, and you might pull a bit of ink out. It's just what you got to expect when you are having a full sleeve. Okay, so my camera just cut out, so hopefully I'll finish my last question, but I'll get on to the next one anyway. Has it faded at all? So faded wise, obviously it has faded, but like you've got to expect that when you have a tattoo. It's not going to look the same on day one as it is going to a year later, sort of thing. You have naturally got to expect your tattoo to fade probably quite a bit in the first 6 months, and then after that it'll probably be a very, very slight gradual fade. Like I'm sure in 10 years time it'll look a little bit more faded, but not that much different, sort of thing. Next, and my lights died now. This is the worst video ever. Alright, will you get any more tattoos? So I have been thinking of a forearm sleeve on this one. I'll quickly show you the picture because I said I wouldn't, but then I see a design and I'm like, that design is sick. This is a design I've looked at. I don't know if you can see it, but mainly like the bottom half as a forearm sleeve. I think it looks pretty sick, but yeah, obviously in time I'll have to see if I still like it or whatever. The best thing to do with tattoos, by the way, if you see a design you like, keep looking at the same design, put it as your wallpaper, something like that on your phone for about 6 months, and then if you still like it in that time, go for it. If not, it's not a tattoo for you, sort of thing. Next, how much did it cost? So my whole sleeve cost £1,700, and then the anchor and the bit to touch up was £100 later on. So £1,800. So it's quite a bit of money, but obviously you got it for life. So it's a decent investment, especially if you've always wanted a sleeve like I have. Obviously you got it for life, so you can't get much better value than that. Like people, like for instance me, I bought my first car, and the money I lost between that car and like when I sold it in like 4 years, I lost like 5-6 grand, something like that. So when you put it into that perspective, you're really not losing anything. Next, what is the most painful part? Definitely the inner arm, like all there. Let me put my light on my phone so you can see it there. But all like that bit, just the inside of the arm is, especially because it's not, the so tattoos, it gets more painful if it's like exposed to sunlight, and obviously the inside of your arm doesn't ever really see sunlight. Like the out bits there, no pain whatsoever, but in there, that absolutely killed. Like it's more fragile skin, it's just so painful. But like it's not painful that you want them to stop, but you like kind of gritting your teeth, you kind of like squint a little bit, especially when like they go over it again, it's like to shading or add any white. That's when it really starts to hurt. And my last question is tips to keep it looking good. So my tips to keep my tattoo looking good would be, if you're going out when it's in the summer or when it's hot, sun's out, go on holiday, whatever, always wear like the high factor sun cream. So I always put factor 50 on my arm, rub it all over my arm. So just because that way you are protected as much as possible, because exposure to light, sunlight, that will damage it, especially like if you're on sunbeds and stuff. What else was it? Moisturize. I've got quite dry skin, like I had eczema quite a bit when I was younger. Moisturizing helped a lot. Just it keeps it looking fresh. It doesn't look dry and a bit crispy and horrible, and your skin can go a bit patchy and stuff. So definitely moisturize. Next thing is, it might sound a bit weird, but if you can like shave your arm hairs, if you want to, like for this video I did, or if I was like going on a night out or something where you want to make it pop just a little bit more, shave your arm hairs. Like, okay, yeah, I've got like no arm hairs whatsoever at the moment, and yet this arm's like fairly hairy, but trust me, with a tattoo arm, people don't even notice. Okay, I'm back. My camera died again, but that wasn't my fault. I did just charge it for 5 minutes when I probably should have charged it for like a good like 20 minutes at least for the video. But what the last thing I was going to say is, to make your tattoo stand out a lot more, just to wear a light coloured t-shirt or a white t-shirt, just because the contrast it makes it stand out so much more, and it does look a lot better. That was my opinion anyway, but I'm sure if any of you lot have got tattoos, you might agree. To answer the main question of this video, do I still like my tattoo? Any regrets? No way. I love it. I just think it looks so sick. Like, I know so many people got tattoos now, and I know for a fact no one's got my tattoo because I didn't just choose it just to design like a lot of people do. I literally found every single little piece that I liked, and then I've put it all together. So it's unique, you know, stands out, shows a bit about me. Generally just looks sick, that's all you want to do. You want a tattoo to look good, you want people to like it, and like with my job, like I'm kind of with the public a lot, and the amount of compliments I've had on this is so much, and so many people like I've even had people say to me like that if they play lottery or something, or if they buy lottery at work, they go, oh, if I win the lottery I'll get you another sleeve. So, you know, hopefully if they come true, maybe you'll get a sleeve quicker than you thought. But yeah, anyway, hope you enjoy this one. Any more questions, drop them in the comments, drop this video a like, it helps a lot. So yeah, anyway, until next time, see you later.